So for all of the audio listeners, this is a quick little disclaimer at the beginning. Our intro isn't a typical intro. This is the second time we tried to record this. We thought we had the intro recorded. It wasn't there. So it's a little disjointed. This video will be chaptered, so I would recommend, if you don't want to listen to the full 2 hours, that there are sections you can jump between, but otherwise, I hope you enjoy. It's a really, really great insight into an incredible deck and a really, really great run.
So we are now an official podcast because we've recorded an episode that just didn't record.
Yeah. That is sort of a,
Badge of honor.
Yeah.
So we don't know how much we missed. So we're gonna quickly recap all of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Go again.
We have. I honestly think the more informal intro, because we might have the intro, and if it flows into an informal intro, it works funnier. But Cardiff CCQ last week. We are back. Vloggers on the channel. Matt wasn't with us because Matt was winning. Ricky wasn't with us initially because Ricky was winning. I was there the whole time because I wasn't winning. I was on Emerald Amethyst. You played Amber Steel. And the more specific highlight of the video, Matt was playing Emerald Sapphire.
Finished 11th overall out of 320 players with Emerald Sapphire.
Yes. But let's talk about it's funny because we're already in the flow of it and I'm just rambling. Let's talk about what your general experience was on the day. How did you feel about the day?
It was really good, to be fair. It was really well organized.
Yeah.
To be fair, considering the amount of people that were there and the size of the place, it's got a good amount of space. But stuff like normally one-way systems tend to be a bit shaky.
Yeah.
But actually worked very well for keeping flow. Right. There weren't enough toilets.
Yeah, that was the huge thing.
It was a definite problem. All the judges were great.
Yes. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the just the way the judge staff were, and also how quickly people's issues were handled.
Yeah.
Because Lorcana is more of a sort of like a lot of people's first card games.
Yes.
They weren't super harsh. My first Magic tournament was, I came in with my half broken sleeves at 16 years old, being I play this for fun and here's my time to play in the tournament.
Yeah.
And then some judges took me to one side and basically ripped me a new one over the state of my sleeves and deck checked me and then gave me a game loss for my next game. And I was like,
yeah.
Right, and when he wasn't exactly he wasn't the greatest about it. So
yeah,
quite a nice difference for judging staff in Lorcana, where everyone's nice, sound. If there's an issue, they'll tell you there's an issue. But they're not gonna immediately jump to super harsh penalties unless it's very clearly intentional.
Yeah.
I guess I got any penalties of any kind, but I mean, from what I saw from other people in deck checks, I mean, I got deck checked and my sleeves were kind of on the older side and had little random little specks of rubbish you get from the grey sweat from playing on stuff that isn't just a playmat, or even when you play on a playmat, if it's been one that's been used for long enough. I little random bits on the front of my sleeves, and they were like, if you're playing tomorrow, you probably need to replace those, but none of them are actually marked. They all just have random crap on them. Just make sure you change them if you're playing the top 32. Whereas beforehand it'd be you need to change these immediately, and also maybe a game loss depending on how they're feeling.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious actually, because that's something we didn't talk about before. We can briefly go over your experience with card games, because while this is the first top you've had in a Lorcana event, it's not the first time you've done well in a card game, right?
Oh no, I've played a bunch of card games, but I'm mostly just someone who's played a lot of card games over the 12 years, 14 years that I've played card games.
Okay, yeah. I mean, nearing half your life.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, no, I started on Magic the Gathering and played Magic the Gathering for a long time, and then only started moving off it when Universes Beyond and COVID kind of came one after another. Universes Beyond was already sketchy territory because the Walking Dead set was that was I wasn't
Rick
very impressed with that.
Things, didn't he?
It was the first straw, and then COVID happened, and the
It's kind of the rise of casual commander as well.
Yeah, Casual Commander was also starting to do stuff, but at the start it was fine. Like there'd be occasional cards and sets that were like high cost, cool effect, and you'd be like, "This is definitely designed for Commander," or Legendary is high cost, cool effect, and you'd be like, "It's very clearly designed for Commander," but it's fine because there are always cards like that in sets anyway. They're thematic, especially like the like lore into card sets like in Innistrad, where like you design you go like, this is our world, and then you design cards to fit the world.
Yes,
You always get some high cost cards that are cool but don't really work in an actual deck, like Grim Grin, Corpse Born in Innistrad, for a zombie deck, just stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But it started to get worse and worse, and Universe Beyond happened. Universe Beyond kind of started creeping in with The Walking Dead, and that was already a bit shaky, and it's got worse and worse over time.
Do you want to see my Spider-Man cards?
Yeah,
we could have an entire discussion about the Spider-Man set.
And next year's the announcement of like 4 out of 7 sets next year. 7 is already way too many sets.
Yeah, well, 7 core sets in a year is insane.
Absurd.
And the secret layers. Like, I'm still not sure if some of them are real or not because they've been memed so much.
There's so many.
Yeah, like, well, the big one's the what's it called? Dwight, right?
Oh
yeah, but I saw they've done a Furby one as well. And I don't know if that was real.
It's Hasbro, isn't it?
It used to be, because it used to be the like stuff like they did a My Little Pony one. The My Little Pony one's still board, and you can't play it unless you like rule 0 it.
Yeah.
In a commander game, and it was just for fun. Like, and now they're actual genuine cards now a little bit. I don't know how I feel about
the tone has shifted. Like, it's become Universes Beyond has become such a large part of the card game that it's.
It went from Secret Lair that
the
Lair
rise of Secret Lair in of itself
wasn't really standard legal. Then you had
Ixalan. You had the
Jurassic Park
not the Jurassic Park one.
Good Brothers War, which brought in
Ikoria. It was the versions of Godzilla, where it was versions of cards that did exist, where it wasn't like a different version of a card, but it was different art. But it would say Godzilla, King of like Beasts or whatever, and then underneath it would say the actual card that it was, and it was just a
reskin.
Reskin of an actual card, and then they slowly became actual cards, and it kind of just got more and more, and it became harder and harder to deal with, especially when they started doing like
Well, Lord of the Rings was the first one that they did specifically to let you use cards in a format, but it was modern.
Yeah, and also
it
didn't help that the One Ring, like while being iconic, seemed to stay around for way longer than any sane person should have kept that in a format for. Yeah. It completely broke and warped the entirety of Modern and Legacy around it, and they didn't want to touch it. They didn't touch it for like a year.
Yeah.
And the price of the card was insanely high because they weren't touching it, and because it was absolutely busted, and there were so many decks you could play with it. You need 4 of them. And you're like, well, I don't want to buy them because it's going to get banned. But then it's like, is it going to get banned? Are they going to ban like their big card for Universes Beyond, the one that they made like a 1/1 that got sold to
Post Malone
for $2 million. And then I don't know. I kept finding more and more reasons to stay away. I was already like well away from their MTG by the time Lord of the Rings set came out though.
It's a similar time frame to when Lorcana dropped, right? 2023.
Yeah, COVID was the big one that pulled me out of Magic, because the support for online play and that kind of thing was compared to Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, it was compared to Yu-Gi-Oh, where Yu-Gi-Oh tried to encourage them to online tournaments, global online tournaments, and in Discord or whatever you could possibly use to do them, and gave promos out specifically for that purpose.
Shout out to the remote duel playmats that I have 4 of.
Yeah, you had all sorts of stuff, and then there's Magic, which kind of wanted to carry on with the plans they'd already had made before COVID kind of hit, and it didn't work out too well.
Yeah,
but.
Keyforge died during COVID too.
Yeah, to be fair, I can see Keyforge. Keyforge had a lot of problems. To be fair, as cool as the game concept was, the actual game had a lot of problems. The biggest one being having randomized decks is way worse than randomized packs of cards.
Yeah.
There being specific decks that are good and that aren't is nah. But a sealed or draft format is normally is about deck building ability.
Yeah.
But Keyforge,
it just removes that.
Yeah, here's a random complete deck. Play your random complete deck. Okay, but my random complete deck makes very little sense, and obviously isn't very powerful. What do I do? hope you can pilot a deck of mere cards in a format like sealed, where normally individual card power matters more than like how well you play it, and somehow win and then don't and then lose, or the opposite, open a completely insane like deck of cards and do really well with it, and then maybe sell it online for God knows how much for the like pseudo constructed format where you can use a deck that already exists as long as it came in a pack with a little card that tells you what cards were in the deck. It was a bit of an odd game. It was quite fun to play casually though, like just for fun, but it wasn't like a good competitive game. I'm not sure why they tried to make a competitive scene.
Yeah,
it was technically my first card game, and I enjoyed it. At the time, not having to build a deck was a big thing for me. But then, after playing it competitively for a while, and even though the idea is that it's not whoever can buy the best cards to construct the best deck, it still becomes
the concept's appealing.
Whoever can buy the best deck.
Yeah. And instead of whoever can buy the best cards and construct a deck, it's whoever can buy the best deck and hope that you just hit the best individual sealed product, right? Like it's like
so like you would get like there were cards in there that were like really strong. So like Library Access, which is a card. So like it was only a 36 card deck, which just recycles, so you couldn't mill out. And Library Access was a card that when you played it, every time you play a card, draw a card. And it's in a house, because that was the other thing about it, was there were 3 houses. You could play as many of the things as you want on a turn, but only of the house you play in. Library Access was when you play a card, draw a card, and the other identity of the house was house cheating. So
oh god, okay.
And archiving. So what you would do is thin your deck by archiving a load of cards that you didn't want to play, and then use the house cheats to play the things that you wanted to play, and then you would just go through the deck constantly, and you would just incidental law gain to get there.
Loop your way to...
And so like those decks started becoming more expensive and things like that. But anyway, that's a different card game.
Lacona, right? But in terms of we mentioned that I think the event ran great. You have, which you a lot more prepared than we are. You have your actual matches in front of you. I wanted to ask, and I know we've already spoken about it, but they haven't spoken about it. What your experience was throughout the day, game by game, if you can remember key moments or not. But
so like I've got my life counter and I've written the name of the person I play at the top. Obviously you can't make notes, so we can write the matchup or anything like that on there. But it's just their name and like lore totals and my vague memory of it. So like game 1 was against Blurple,
sure,
against another Matthew, and in the game 1 of round 1, I made a massive misplay and I forgot that Heads Held High Under the Sea doesn't kill a monstro somehow. Don't know how I know that, but
it's round 1 at, what was it, 10 a.m?
Yeah, half 10.
Yeah, half 10.
Not enough Ripper in the system.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person. But yeah, no. So I messed up massively, and then game 2 I clawed my way through a very long game to win. And then we ran out of time, basically. I also got deck checked that round as well.
Yeah.
I think this was before they started adding time for shuffling. I don't think they quite realised that, like, ordering someone's entire deck in exact order and giving them back. Because the problem is you get your deck taken after you've shuffled and presented it.
Yeah.
Both players need to present it before they take them for to deck check them normally. So you shuffle them, present them,
and then they're putting them in order.
And then they take them, put them in order, and give them back, and give you no extra time for shuffling. So then you've got to shuffle your completely ordered deck again, even though you've already used time around to shuffle. And they were only counting the time that they took your decks to when they gave you them back.
Yeah,
which wasn't enough time for how long they would take them for deck checking for. So we kind of ran low on time. There was only 6 minutes of our extra. There was only the 6 minutes of our extra time, or plus another 4. So it was there was about 10 minutes left on the round, but we didn't think we were going to be able to make it. Either of us were going to win a game in that time unless one of us absolutely ran for it. And yeah, we just decided to draw and carry on with our day.
Yeah. And I mean, it showed that it paid off, right? Like you did great.
I wasn't
afterwards.
unhappy being put in the draw bracket playing Emerald Sapphire.
Yeah.
Because the minimum matchups were most likely going to be Blurple and maybe
like longer grind out game decks. Yeah.
I was less likely to get matched against aggro.
Yeah.
He says immediately getting paired into aggro.
Yeah.
Turned out we were the only people who drew in the entire thing, so I just got paired down against Amber Emerald.
Sure.
Against Tom Llewellyn.
Yeah. Who was in the vlog? And he mentions in the vlog that he got absolutely destroyed in this round. But it's from what you mentioned before, it didn't seem as one-sided, but it probably.
Yeah, not in shot.
That's a good catch.
At least the reflection is pretty helpful.
Yeah, the reflection's incredibly helpful. Actually, let me lean forward.
It's only because it's got dark enough now that you can't see outside. So you can see the reflection. But it wasn't. I mean, it was quite a one-sided game. I was kind of surprised by how one-sided the game felt. But it was mainly just John Silver's. I'd changed from 4 Basils and 4 1-drop Basils and 2 of the 6-drop Basils to 2 more John Silvers and 4 Bobbies, the day before.
Yeah.
And this game kind of epitomized why doing that was the right idea, basically, because it would just stop me from losing to aggro and made my aggro matchup super easy. I got to play a John Silver, play a Hades, Visions for the Future for another John Silver, play another John Silver, and then 2 John Silvers is just game over for Amber Emerald.
Yeah.
He got to 13 lore game 1 and then lost, and then game 2 he got to 13 lore again and then lost. But I was on the play game 2. No, sorry, I wasn't on the play either of these. I was on the draw both games.
Okay.
But so the same thing happened both games basically. It's just I ramped a bit, played a bleak leader, contest board, and then shift Baymax, kill something, play a John Silver, play Basil or Hades, and then play another John Silver or another Basil or Hades, and just win the game through 2-for-1s off characters.
Yeah, I will ask you, because I think it's probably the thing that most people will see your list and think is the most interesting part of it. Specifically, I think you were the only person in the room on Pleakley in Green Blue. I don't know if I saw someone else on it. I know the Stockholm top 4 had a very similar list to you, but were also on Pleakley.
I think they had the numbers the right way around that I drew. Did they play 4 of the Perfect Gentleman Donald and 2
yes,
Pleakleys?
Yeah, they flipped them,
which is probably correct.
Okay, yeah.
I reckon that 2 Pleakleys is bold enough. I thought I needed 3 Pleakleys to make sure I saw it if I didn't see Ramp. But in all honesty, 2 Pleakleys would have been just as fine.
Okay, yeah.
That was one of the things that did me dirty in the top 16 game. I drew through all 3 of my Pleakleys in game 2, and it felt really bad.
It always happens that way, right? It's the card that you're not sure on a count of, and if you play the wrong count of it in that one game, it matters. You'll find out very quickly why.
And if I wanted a Perfect Gentleman Donald and drew it a turn later, and if I had been playing the other way around, I would have seen a Perfect Gentleman Donald on my turn for 4-ing. So it did make a big difference.
I found that because one of the last minute additions to my deck was the 5-drop. Is she a 5-drop? Jasmine, the
evasive hate one.
Yeah. And she was so good during the day, and I just would either draw her turn 1 and then have to ink her because I needed to establish a board, or then I wouldn't be drawing her later on, and they was just I only had 2 in the deck.
Oh, the 3/7. I know.
Yeah,
she's
3/7.
really
unbelievably strong card. Yeah.
Way overstated.
4 of those in the deck.
The one thing I'll give myself benefit on my deck on that day was I didn't care what I inked because I played 4 of every card. It was a flat 60 and it was 4 of everything. But we don't need to listen about Emerald Amethyst. You mentioned with Pleakley. Did you find Pleakley was impactful enough to warrant playing?
A couple of my games against Blurple, he was the reason why I didn't lose.
Yeah,
because I would miss my ramp, because I did miss my ramp about 3 or 4 games ish. But the games against Blurple where I missed my ramp, I hit a Pleakley instead. Yeah. And instead it would just be called Pleakley as Bobby or Pleakley Pleakley one of my Clarabelles, because you can hard play Clarabelle a lot of the time, so shifting it against Blurple when you're on the draw. Yeah. Because they're going to draw a bunch of cards anyway, and they're going to struggle to unless they manage to just completely empty out hand. In which case you're normally fine with that because your end game.
Yeah, you're just getting right back up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You can just instead ink your lower cost cards and then win the end game.
Yeah.
And It's a bit of a weird matchup. The Blurple matchup is. There's a lot of odd things. They have to play this really weird balancing act of having enough cards but not too many cards.
Yeah.
And they want cards that are really impactful, and they want to ramp a load early. But then you're happy with them ramping a load early because it just empties their hand out. And if they just keep like a couple of cards in hand and they're really impactful, if you bend them, they lose the game immediately.
Yeah.
It's like I think one person I bended had Elsa, double Hades, Finders Keepers in hand when I bended him, and it was like that was just game over. Like it didn't matter they had like 5 lore on board and I had 1 character on board, because the next turn it's going to be Hades, remove this, challenge your character, kill one, and you've got 2 characters left, and the game is going to be over.
Yeah, that's the swing, man, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, or just Under the Sea.
It's an interesting balancing act as a matchup, because you've got Blurple, a deck that do you just play?
What's she doing?
Do you play into the Clarabelle and just go screw it? I'm going to draw up and I'm just going to try and. But then generally that's the incorrect decision. Or again, do you be? I'm notorious for be very, very conservative with your resources, and I get punished for getting bended and just lose outright.
Yeah.
But it's a very skill expression based matchup, I think, in a lot of ways. I think you can just brick. I think that's a huge thing. But
there's also some like really weird things in that matchup. Like you can shift a Clara. Like one of the games I played against Blurple, I shifted to Clarabelle, knowing that it was going to immediately get Hades.
Just even round 2.
And I was like, and I was on 5, so I was like, shift Clarabelle, draw like 2 cards off it, and go up to 4, like the same as what they're on. I had a Gentleman Donald.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to get bended. So I was like, well, I'm going to kill your 2/1 Basil that you've exerted.
Yeah.
And have my character exerted, and then you're either going to Hades it or you're going into the unknown, and you're not going to challenge it.
Yeah.
Most likely, and that's exactly what happened. It got flipped into my ink, and I was like, well, that's all good, because now I have 7 inks, so my next turn is going to be Hades, your Hades.
Yeah.
Basil, my own Hades, Hades, your Hades, your Elsa. Like, it just becomes a game of just like constantly playing 7-drop bombs.
Yeah.
And if they keep too many cards, if they draw too many cards, like if they go like Genie line where they're like Genie, Elsa, and then just play bombs and then try and second star to draw a bunch of cards, and they have like 10 cards in hand, you play a Clarabelle, draw up to 10 cards, and your hand probably contains Head Held High Under the Sea, and you win because you go play Heads Held High Under the Sea.
Yeah. And they are ramping you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that a lot.
You're finding like
I think the game that went ages, one of the games that you watched where the went ages for round 6.
18 ink each,
Yeah.
didn't you?
I think
I
ended that game. I ended that game on 16 ink.
Yeah.
Just a quarter of my deck was just in my inkwell. Like,
and in Blurple Mirrors, it's exactly the same way too. Like typically, your shifted characters always get inked, and it's like, okay, well now I have 14 ink, and I can hardcast Second Star and still play my turn. But yeah,
the difference is the like one side can play a board wipe. It's like blue red, like late game blue red all over again, basically. Where it's like, well, I can play a board wipe for my turn, whereas you can play a bunch of characters. This is a character meta, so you're not going to have anything else that'll gain you lore aside from characters. So if I just wipe your entire board, it's not going to go well. And when you get to the point where you have like 13-ish ink, you can also do turns where it's like I can sing Heads Held High Under the Sea and also play a bend to my will and just end the game on the spot.
Yeah.
It's like, you have no cards in hand, you have no cards on board, you are dead.
Sorry. If Harry becomes a disembodied voice again, it is just that.
Yeah. You see me enough on this channel, it doesn't matter.
Is this still recording as well?
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Oh, trust me, I've been like paranoid. There's red at the top, we're good. Yeah, you mentioned you played into Tom. You just the tempo of like John Silver's and Basils and stuff doing enough. Did you find that was the case with aggro most of the day?
I think it depended on their start a lot of the time and how they played. So aggro decks played like aggro deck, like traditional aggro decks with like very little removal and just I'm going to play my dudes and quest. They just lose.
Yeah,
and that's fine. Like you just run them over. Amber Steel decks with like where they were very careful about targeted removal and they drew like multiple strengths and fire the cannons were very hard because they just take you off board. Like people recognizing that anything as a shift target is a big one. Like you don't play that many characters over the course of a game until you hit the late game. So like you're normally doing 1-drop, 2-drop, maybe another 1-drop or Obliquely. Obliquely removes one of your own characters anyway, so there's still only 2 characters. And then it's like when you hit 6 ink is your next play. So if they can go fire cannons your 1-drop, Strength your 2-drop, strength your 6-drop, which is normally John Silver.
Yeah.
Or strength your 4-drop if it's Donald.
Yeah.
Normally that's like enough for them just to be able to get to sort of 16 to 18 lore and not be in a position where they're going to get under the seed.
Yeah.
And or if they're even getting to a position where they get under the seed, they do have Pete.
Yeah.
And well-timed Pete's are like skillfully played Pete's are really good against you. Especially when you don't have as many answers. Like you have a lot of character answers for Pete, so Pete's a lot weaker than it was like last set, where like you'd have to like try and speed run. Can I like just wipe your board with actions?
Yeah.
But yeah, the other problem with like Amber Emerald was like Ursula was like irrelevant.
Okay. Yeah.
I got Ursula like twice in one of the games. I just missed everything. Like Head High is instant ink. Your Welcome is instant ink a lot of the time, unless you're getting it on the on your 5 turn when you're going to be playing when you're going to shift Clarabelle. There's not really much point in keeping it because a turn that you exert a character to sing. Your Welcome is a turn that you could just do that to challenge and kill something.
Sure,
they barely have any power. A lot of the characters do, and they're just going to die to standard challenges and not to be able to crack back for any like real damage. So yeah, it just became a Ursula. Look at your hand, see loads of characters, and go, oh okay. And if they do happen to hit an Under the Sea, then it's okay. But I mean, visions, you can sandbag visions, so you can just visions for Under the Sea when you want to hit it.
Yeah.
And just mulligan away your Under the Seas if you do have them, because you're not rushing to play that card. So yeah, there was a lot of ways that like Amber Emerald just didn't really match up very well into Sapphire Emerald, even though I was worried about playing against it.
Yeah, I think truthfully on the day they would be farming the Blurple matchup as opposed to the Sapphire Emerald matchup. I think.
Yeah.
I think
I would have liked to have had Blurple all day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Amber Steel is really good against Blurple as well. But yeah, like a Nuts Amber Steel hand will beat Emerald Sapphire as well. Amber Steel's not a bad deck to be on. It just feels like you have less tools or like less decisions that you can make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I struggled with that, and when it worked, I didn't enjoy watching like how annoyed my opponent was. I know if I want to be a top player and everything, I shouldn't care about feelings, but at one point it was this like one of the guys I was playing. He was really happy when we sat down. He offered me sweets, and it was really great. And then my deck got to like 20 low, and
Tiana, then like
I Tiana'd. Well, I Aurora'd to Tiana. Then the next turn, I Aurora'd Tiana and put another Aurora down. So like I was just like, and
you can facilitate playing free princesses.
The life drain from his eyes, and then I think I let that tilt me a bit because I ended up losing that game. Like I won the first one, and he didn't talk to me through the second one, and then like I think that kind of tilted me a bit. But
it is a little bit hard with some decks. Like it's the same with Sapphire Emerald though. You like Bend to My Will is a great one for that, where you play Bend to My Will and someone just looks very defeated at you as they put like 7 cards in their discard, and you feel bad because I mean it's not quite as bad as playing like Amber Emerald was last pre-rotation.
Because instead of the single discard, it was consistent discard.
Yeah, constant. All the decisions are going to have to be made by you. Like if I play this well, it's just going to be you constantly making like worse and worse decisions, and I'm just going to keep gaining from it. And it felt so bad to play that. I moved on Sapphire Emerald because at least that was just like there was far more like of a sort of swing where you started winning, so it wasn't like it wasn't as bad. Whereas Amber Emerald, there was like for the like mid range and control matchups, you just felt bad for them because they were just losing constantly. They just started losing from turn 3. They were just on a train of just losing. And sometimes earlier, if you Ursula like a Sapphire Ruby player and hit how far I'll go, like it was just the start of like it just getting worse from there. You'd be like Prince John, sing Sudden Chill, or sing Ben Necessities, take something, draw a card, and you just start looping through your deck, like discarding the hand away.
I guess it's great to also give people context that like those are the two sort of decks that you've consistently played for most of pre-rotation, right? I don't know. Before Amber Emerald, you were... I forget what you played before Amber Emerald.
I played Emerald Amethyst.
Oh, sure, yes, yeah.
Before that, before Diablo got printed, I played Emerald Steel.
Yeah.
But then when Diablo got printed, I was completely baffled because I'd been playing Emerald Steel before that, and Emerald Steel felt pretty good before that, but felt like it was lacking something. And then they were like, here's the ability to discard your opponent's hand on like turn 3.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't quite that bad, but it was close. Like if you're against Sapphire and they inked off a Fishbone Quill and play, you could discard their entire. Well, that's what was one of the like matches for the Friday night that I played against you, where you played a Fishbone Quill inked, and I went shift a Diablo, you discard a card, Sing Sun Chill, discard a card, play 3-drop Aladdin, you discard a card, and you had no cards in hand.
It was the very beginning of that format, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I was like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
And
You also were the first.
That was top table. We were done in 5 minutes. Yeah.
You were also the first on Steel Song in our locals, and you realised that was a bit broken. And moved
in
away
set
from
1.
it.
Yeah, I don't like playing like the decks that are clearly busted. Like, I mean, in set 1, like Rockstar Stitch and Tinkerbell were like very obviously powerful cards, and the removal, like being able to remove stuff, seemed very important given how your options were really just play questers or play removal. And playing like Grab Your Swords and Tinkerbell seemed better than playing like aggro.
Yeah, and Ruby Amethyst was dominating the room, and you had an incredibly favoured matchup into Ruby Amethyst because you could just punish them for playing slowly, right? Because you could Whole New World and
Whole New World and Lantern, being able to Lantern and shift a what's it called, a Rockstar Stitch, and then you'd go your turn 5, your 4-ink turn would be play 5 characters, quest for 5 pass, and they'd have 7 characters to deal with on the board, and they weren't anywhere near be prepared.
Yeah,
and they kind of just fold up. So there's been different ones for like each format where it's been. To be fair, I did carry on playing Emerald Amethyst after the bounce package got printed, but that's because I couldn't really find anything else to play. So I was just on like Prince John and discard with Emerald Amethyst and Hidden and Curse Merfolk with. I think Curse Merfolk was later though.
I think Merfolk was set 3 or 4. I always forget which set it was printed in.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, but like I didn't really. I wasn't really too keen on playing Steel with like Let the Storm Rage on getting printed and Beast because they both felt pretty overtuned and the bounce package was obviously nuts and I didn't want to play Amethyst Ruby. I did try and play Sapphire Ruby during this last set.
Yeah.
That was so boring. That was literally ramp to be prepared and then just play removal characters for like every single turn after that. And
truthfully, Ruby Sapphire sort of maintained that identity for 7 sets.
For way too long until it finally got the ability to also put pressure on with like Half Shark and McDuck Manor. And at that point, it was just too much. And at one point they had Hiram as well at the same time.
No, the deck was insane. Yeah.
Looking back, Hiram should have been banned a lot sooner than it was.
I would have been very interested to see what the format would have been if it was banned in like set 4.
Or even earlier, to be fair.
If they simultaneously banned Bucky and Hiram.
Yeah, Bucky, to be fair, Bucky was a mistake as well.
He would have been like round 3 or 4, right?
We're only on round 3, yeah.
Sure, okay.
This was Amethyst Steel. I played against Amethyst Steel, but the Amethyst Steel matchup is very weird because it doesn't feel like it's anywhere near as bad as people seem to think for Emerald Sapphire, and I'm not sure if it's like a playstyle thing. I think it might be a playstyle thing.
Yeah.
Because people were telling me that people would exert stuff into their Helga. No, it's not Helga. What's the name? The
Isma, right? Is that the
the one from Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh, Vanellope. Oh, Calhoun.
Calhoun. Yeah. People were like saying that they'd get like exerted into people would exert stuff into Calhoun or like shift a Baymax to kill like a one quest and then have it get killed by Calhoun and they'd win off like instant lore gain from like stuff. I don't know. It just felt very weird when I was playing against them because it didn't feel very like disfavored at all. One of the games they didn't gain a single lore.
Yeah.
They just lost. So I'm not entirely sure what to make of Amethyst Steel a lot of the time. The only time that they won was when they got down a Dumbo and I couldn't actually remove it because I just didn't have any way of removing it in my hand. I think that was the only time where things went pear shaped. But that was also because I drew like 2 Hades, 2 Under the Sea, and no ramp, so I was just stuck behind like with them having a Dumbo for ages. But the other 2 games were just like quite comfortable wins, so I'm not entirely sure with Amethyst Steel. I feel like there is a version of Amethyst Steel that
would be more
that is good. I feel like Amethyst Chronomicon should probably be played in that deck.
Yeah,
A
I
little
think
bit.
Cos very good, isn't it?
I feel a little bit like weird that it's not like if you want to try and instant lore gain at the end of the game. I feel like Amethyst Chronicon's where you want to be. I feel like it's probably better than like constantly going through your deck and then discarding your hand and then drawing a new and trying to draw a new card because you have to play all these cards that are just terrible. And Amethyst Chronicon's inkable.
Yeah.
So you have a line where you've got like a dock in hand and you've got like your line into it. You just ink your Chronomicon, play the game. Is Beyond the Horizon inkable as well?
No, it's uninkable.
That is uninkable.
But I think about like I think about Joey and the way that she would play Chromicon and the amount of times I lost to not her top decking, but her then Chromiconing to then find the incidental lore gain. Yeah, I think there's an argument it's better than Isma because Isma's dying.
Yeah, I feel like a deck that plays like Beyond the Horizon and Chronomicon is that's probably what I'm going to try and build next.
Yeah.
Is like because I feel like if you play Chronomicon, like draw a bunch of cards throughout the game, and then you're just like, oh yeah, now I'm just going to Beyond Horizon and make you discard your hand of like 10 cards because and draw
because
3.
you've been drawing so much. Yeah,
I can be like Chronomicon, we both draw, and now you discard your hand and draw 3, and I'll just carry on playing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then some of the other stuff is like just it's like a player thing where like people not sandbagging instant lore game, people jamming Cobras when they don't need to, people playing too many Vanish cards, and then not recognizing that against Emerald Sapphire, if you play Vanish cards, they get swept by Heads Held High.
Yeah.
And yeah, just some very weird things. I like the pseudo evasives, but I'm not like massively fond of them. I feel like mine is underutilized at the moment, given how hard it is to remove locations.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff with Amethyst Steel where I haven't had a chance to really play around with it. I did like the version that was just like, I have like tons of instant lore.
Yeah, like Honey Marin, White
Honey
Rose,
Marin, Gathering Knowledge and Wisdom, White Rose, Cobra, and Amethyst Chronomicon, and Beyond the Horizon, and then just the normal stuff of the deck that's good that isn't pseudo-evasives, and we just get rid of Dumbo.
Yeah,
I don't think that Dumbo is what their deck wants, but then
they're I think that they were on the right track when they started playing Dolores as well. I think Dolores,
Dolores, or the ones that were playing Vanish characters were playing
Treasure Guardian,
yeah, which is just a pseudo Dolores.
Yeah,
Dolores was just
Dolores is very good.
Dolores is a really good card.
Like into aggro, they want to tap. They need Tiana to be exerted, so you've basically guaranteed
it's a guaranteed rabbit. It's an inkable rabbit.
Same with Honey Marin. Like Honey Marin's almost always a guaranteed lore.
Yeah.
But it just feels like you could be playing a deck that could win out of nowhere a lot of the time, and especially with the way Amethyst Steel is currently, Amethyst Steel doesn't have that much incidental lore gain, so you can play your game with just incidental, with just like questing and playing characters and playing the Amethyst Steel game plan.
Yeah.
And then near the end of the game, just suddenly be like, Cobra, gain 4 lore, Honey Marin, Gathering Knowledge of Wisdom, gain another 3 lore, and I win.
Yeah.
And just completely come out of nowhere and win a game that people weren't expecting you to win. Gathering Knowledge of Wisdom is really good at doing that anyway. It's scary as hell to play against. And of those like 4 cards, it's the only one that's not inkable as well, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
Like all of the like incidental lore gains now are all inkable, and they're not bad stat either.
And Cobra's insane. Yeah.
Like Cobra being a 3-cost 4/4 is really good.
Yeah.
I feel like people discard that card way too often though as well. I didn't like the fact that did my opponent one of his turn 3 was like, I think his turn 1 was happy into Calhoun, and then turn 3 he played a Cobra and discarded a card to Cobra, and I get he's because he's got the reload in hand.
Yeah.
But it was like he didn't discard like a useless card.
Yeah.
He discarded a Genie.
Yeah.
It's like I was like,
something that would have been relevant on turn 4.
There's no need to like just empty your hand and then reload as soon as you possibly can to carry on going, like just to gain 2 lore. You can just play your game, you could just play your game and then do it. I don't know if that's probably correct in the current version of Amethyst Steel, but I feel like there's a better version of Amethyst Steel where you don't need to discard that, and then later on you can put it back in your hand with like an elephant. And then...
Yeah, I think the Amethyst Steels that I lost to, they didn't discard to the Cobra.
Yeah,
it was just a case of like I think the pilots recognize.
You recognize you're in aggro. You need more resources. You just need the body. Yeah.
And a 4/4 body against my like.
Yeah, you might have fire the cannons and you might just kill it, but at the same time, if the 4/4 sticks, it'll kill like 3 things before it dies, which is massive. Yeah, and it can sing strength, which is really good as well.
Yeah, I will ask. I because we'd asked previously, like what your experience with Heads Held High and Illusions were on the day. Because
well, Heads Held High, the healing's relevant, the -3 is relevant, and the fact that it targets any number of characters, including your opponent's illusions, are all relevant. I think in the top 30 match, I killed an Iago that my opponent played on 4 because I had no good way of, like, no other good play aside from hard play heads I kill Iago. It was the best play on the board because there was no, like, if I shift a Baymax and sing it, if I like shifted a Baymax to like kill something, then Iago can like kill it. If I play like a John Silver and he has an Elsa, he can exert my John Silver and then quest with support Basil, make Iago 6/6 and kill my John Silver with like and still keep his Iago. There's like, and it's got evasive as well, so like it's such an annoying card to play when they play it on the on curve, and it's so good against so much of the meta at the moment.
Oh, it's insane.
It's great just to have a card that's like, I can just kill it if I want to. And then against Tom Lavella, one of the turns when he was on 13, he had 2 Go-Go Tomagos in hand, and he had I had a 5 damage Clarabelle, and he was going to just be like
double
play and activate Tomago, gain 10 lore and win the game, and heads on high heals. So I was like, well, heads on high and heal.
That was my experience all day. The amount of times that I was like, okay, I have Go-Go, I have lethal, and it was just like heads held high, and it just immediately removes your lethal line, and you're like, oh, I just lose. Yeah.
I'm so used to like playing against Tomago.
They just it bakes into your mind.
In your head. I'm always like against that when you're against an Emerald deck that isn't like a control deck. You're always like, this is a massive problem if this stays on this much damage. I need to kill it off on purpose or heal it.
Like when I've been playing Blurple recently, if I have 2 Elsas on board, and instead of keeping both of them on board to maintain more pressure, I make sure that the one with more damage on it dies so that they can't Go-Go me. But we Amethyst Steel, and then round 4.
So round 4 was against the Mirror. Well, I say Mirror. It wasn't quite a Mirror. It seemed like a bad. Well, he inked a hero, like for his second ink, I think, or first ink round game of game 1, and I was like, it's a bit weird. And didn't really do much in game 1, and kind of just folded. It just seemed like a worse version of Emerald Sapphire, or an Emerald Sapphire that had a bad hand. And then game 2, he shifted a hero on top of a hero, and the draw card, 3-drop 3/3 hero, and then played. And I had just ramped my way to 7 ink, and then he played Ink Geyser, and things suddenly became real dicey really fast. And I was like, oh, I finally realized what the deck was trying to do. I knew that if he shifted a hero, I'd need to have heads on under the sea, and that would be the only way I'd be able to out it. But I didn't also expect him to put me back down to like 4 ink for next turn after inking.
It becomes a very different game. Like both of the decks that value so much about having a massive inkwell suddenly have minuscule inkwells. But
the only problems with that matchup were from his side were that he struggled to find another shift, like a shift Baymax or any other shift target. I don't think he was playing the Tomago, the one like whenever you shift ink card. I feel like that would have been a pretty big help given what his deck was trying to do. And also you could like play the shift Tomago that inks a character.
Yeah, it's like a Hades, but it requires the shift.
Like, and the other Tomago that like whenever you shift, you can is it bounce a character? Is it whenever you shift, you bounce a character?
The Honey Marin, right? Yes, I think it is that. Yeah,
like there's a lot of cards that like support like the Ink Geyser kind of play style where you shift, get a bunch of guys on like with hero protection, and then you Ink Geyser and reset their board. Make them miserable. But it didn't. It seemed to be like Emerald Sapphire with this is like this like side game plan. But when hero got shifted, I just immediately went into lore race mode and just started jamming characters on the board, being just to go like. Like you've reset our lore back. I think my first play was immediately like Donald, the Purple Gentleman. Because like, well, if you reset us back down and we both got 3 lore on board, because it's a 4/6 evasive ward. I'm just going to jam characters down as much as I can, and any opportunity there is to remove your character and still quest, I'm going to use. So I think the first play he made was another like low drop hero. I think it was another one of the 3-drop heroes, and I just hard played your welcome and then quested with everything for 5, and I was like, I can win this race or force you to challenge me, and if you can't win fast enough, or if you can't like pivot fast enough, or find a board wipe, I could just keep jamming guys on the board and racing you, and then I'll win, which worked. it was like not a hard match, but it was very weird.
Sure.
It wasn't what I was expecting at all, which is kind of cool. And
It
seemed like a
throws
cool
you
concept.
off too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the concept seemed kind of like a good idea. It just seems like it needs a lot more testing.
Yeah.
But it seems like a big Hero 6 kind of deck would probably work.
Yeah.
It just needs more.
On a theme deck night, that seems like it'd be incredibly strong.
God, yeah.
Look, Nick has run something like that, and it was a pain.
The Honey Marin actually did very well. I forget which one of the CCQs. I think a deck topped with Honey Marin in it, so the one that bounces when you shift something. And it's interesting how relevant stuff like that is, and how when people aren't expecting a specific line, it throws them off totally.
Yeah, especially if you can get like a free bounce off like a card like that one. The one that inks as well, like being able to be like, because the one that you shift on top of it lets you ink when you shift on top of it as well.
Yeah.
So it's like you can shift on top of it, ink off shifting on top of it, and then ink it, and then you can target itself with its own effect and put another 2 cards in your ring and like ink 3.
You can ramp 3 off of a single shift. Yeah.
So like you can be like ink Geyser next turn, shift ramp 3, and it's like it's kind of scary for that to be able to do that out of nowhere, and then you're on 8 ink and your opponent's like just inking for their 5th ink after ink Geyser. It's just ink Geyser is such a weird card because you have to. You can't play it when you're behind.
Yes,
because you instantly lose the game. So you have to play it when you're when the game's either mirrored or you're ahead.
Yeah.
And there are a few. Well, let's say against Emerald Sapphire, you can't sing it or you can't play it when the board's even because the songs in the decks like You're Welcome Under the Sea Heads or Dice are so powerful. Like and just you could just get board wiped for doing it. You'd be like in Geyser and your opponent like picks up one of their Heads or Die that they inked earlier because they didn't think they needed it early on in the game or something, and then suddenly they're like, oh, cool, I'm just gonna turn my couch sideways and wipe your board.
Yeah. And
you can start on four ink with no board, and I've still got a board of like 3 or 4 characters, and that's the game over.
Yes, yeah.
Because the best thing about Ink Geyser is that after you play it, you can turn things into a lore race that you're almost guaranteed to win because you're the first one to ink.
Yeah.
Because you always ink Geyser and then ink after you've inked Geysered.
Yes, yeah. The in terms of your round 5, was this the Blurple matchup we mentioned before, or was
this is Amber Steel?
Okay, sure, yeah.
So I played against Amber Steel. This is the person who was shuffling quite fast.
Yeah.
So when they were they were shuffling really quickly, and when they were shuffling, a card flipped out, and I looked away, but not in time to not see what it was, and it was 1-drop Rhino.
Yeah.
And either of the 2 Rhinos, just
it's very telling.
There's only one deck you're on, it's Amber Steel. Like you're playing the Rhino version as well. And then they won the dice roll. I got absolutely smashed game 1. It was the standard run of Aurora into Tiana, etc. Yeah. Game 2, I under the seed. I did the turn 3 shift Baymax on top of Clarabelle, sing together 8.
Yeah.
Board wipe for win game. And then game 3 went a bit longer, but just John Silver's just carry. I shifted a Baymax to kill a Rhino, which is like if they play 1-drop Rhino and then 2-drop shift and then turn 2 shift their Rhino, and you just shift Baymax and kill it. The game tends to just be over. They've like wasted 2 cards on the character and haven't even killed your Baymax, or like your Baymax doesn't even die in return for killing their guy.
Yeah.
The only time where that hasn't been a thing I've been able to do is when someone, I don't know who's very cleverly, or it was the only thing they could play. They shifted a Rhino on the same turn, played a Rhino to -1 power.
Yeah.
So that if I did shift Baymax, it would only be 4 power. So
yeah.
I'd be able to kill because it keeps the -1, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. The I was curious about the I guess with Baymax, how relevant like the effect of when it's shifting, is it coming up like the heal? Is that really relevant at all, or is that
so heal's only relevant on Dalda completely because they're the only ones that are like
beefy enough
one to shift on top of because they would survive. They can survive they can survive a hit or maybe kill something before they die, and shifting them is a net positive because their power goes up.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the other ones, it's like you're shifting on just to heal.
Yeah.
Like healing 4 damage off Clarabelle but turning it into a Baymax.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not normally as good as just leaving a Clarabelle under unexerted and just hard playing a Baymax.
Yeah.
Most of the time anyway. So yeah, it's normally the only time where it comes up is for Pleakley or Perfect Gentleman. But when it does, it's massive. Like, if you've like hit like a character that's like a 3/2 or something and killed it with Perfect Gentleman, you've got like 3 damage on
and then
and
get that 5/5 body.
You got a 5/5 that is just a 5/5. And you get to kill something else. it can get really good. And also like turning off Perfect Gentleman's Effect when you're ahead and you don't want them to be able to draw into an out because you don't have like Basils to like force discard the stuff that they draw. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I because you mentioned you felt at least on the day that Amber Steel was your hardest matchup.
Yeah.
The would you say that rings true, like, in terms of, is that dependent on play draw disparity, or is that more of just like a general
I think it's your
hard?
worst matchup overall. I think play draw makes it if you lose the dice roll, it is way worse.
Yeah.
It's much. Yeah, it does feel like it's much harder to win the draw than it is to play against Amber Steel. Mainly just because of Tiana.
Yeah.
Like that's the big one, right? Is like their turn on their turn 3, they can exert Tiana and Quest. They can exert their Tiana to give them -3, and on your turn 3, you can shift to Baymax. So like if your turn 1 is play like a Bobby, their turn 1's play Aurora, their turn 2 is like play Tiana plus something else, like play Tiana and or not even play Tiana. Sorry, normally if they're not playing, if they don't play Aurora on turn 1, they play like Daisy, and then turn 2 they play something, then turn 3 they play Tiana. You can shift Baymax and kill that dude before the
Tiana's live.
Tiana's live. Yeah, if they have the Aurora into Tiana, it becomes a bit weird.
Yeah.
Normally you're looking to just try and under the sea them because they've got a bunch of bodies now that have just got 1 power.
Yeah.
And you're on the play, so you can under the sea on turn 3.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can be like Bobby.
Because I mentioned to you before in the extinct episode, you had Big Basil in the deck, and 1-drop Basil instead of Bobby. Did you find that the turn 3 under the sea was consistent enough without the Basils?
Yeah, because you didn't have you don't get to the turn 3 one as much, but it's you're not really it's not something you can really just like dig for.
Yeah.
You can pray for it on the draw against like Amber Steel, where you're already like or Amethyst Steel, where you're already having a rough time of it anyway.
Yeah.
So you may as well, because you can go for like high variance hands when you're on the draw because you're disfavored anyway. So you may as well play to your actual outs.
Yeah.
But when you're on the play, you're not trying to look for it anyway. You're normally not going to keep. You're going to be digging for ramp.
Yeah.
Well, let's say digging for ramp. You're normally going to be digging for things that are relevant in the matchup.
Yeah.
Not wanting to keep uninkables that might not be relevant. You still want because you still want the 1-drop, 2-drop, and you wouldn't mind it under the sea.
Yeah.
But you're not going to like sort of get rid of like ramp or cards, like you're not going to get rid of a John Silver in order to try and dig, or you're not going to get rid of a Clarabelle if you have 1-drop Clarabelle to try and find.
Just to have the consistency, yeah.
But that might be a mistake on my part, to be fair. It might be that I should just dig for the like board wipe and go for the more backbreaking hands against Amber Steel.
I guess you did well enough that it proves, I think, that what the lines you were making are correct. I'm sure that there's probably scenarios where maybe you could have won a game quicker if you had Under the Sea, but it's like you're losing resources to do something a lot riskier, something a lot more fragile, that like if they have a cannons, they can kill your Tipo and suddenly you can't Under the Sea, like stuff like that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's probably better that I make that I like do plays where they have to have an out for it. Than them just getting to do their thing, and they like, and if I don't have the others, then I'm not winning. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one.
If they're using a cannons, from experience, that's a missed body.
Sure. Yeah.
Like not playing an Ala on turn 2 so they can cannons is huge.
Yeah.
That has happened.
Like
before.
if they just play like a Mulan. Yeah.
It was that weird thing when sometimes it would be like, do I take out the Basil before it can actually cause issues? Or do I carry on trying to play the Tiana so that Tiana's online quicker?
Yeah.
And I think trying to find that balance sometimes was what cost me games.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it was like, I would do the Tiana line because I think that is probably
generally the right line. Yeah.
Only for like them to, especially if I was on the draw, ramp into like something that will just get like I would get the bloody Into the Unknown and stuff like that. So like it's that thing of like sometimes you need the body on the board and spending 1 ink, because like my deck wasn't my deck goes to 4.
Yeah.
Past 4 it starts running out of gas pretty quick.
Yeah, because you want to be winning the game by 10-5, right? Effectively, yeah. I will mention, because I guess you said you're around around 6 and 7 are both Blurple, right?
Yeah, Blurple, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's probably the topic we'll like go into is what's your experience with Blurple with this deck, and like.
Yeah, well, we mentioned earlier, like Blurple's kind of weird that they have the hard choice of like how do they pile it into your deck. Like, a lot. I've seen a fair few versions of Emerald Sapphire just cutting Bend to My Will entirely.
Yeah,
which I can kind of get, but at the same time, that's like one of the easiest ways you can win a Blurple matchup is if they go for like ramping. They go ramping to like be like, I'm going to power play after power play because I'm going to keep like Hades, Elsa, second star to the right, and I'm just going to win.
Yeah.
And then they go like second star to the right, play a Hades, and then you Bend to My Will instead of playing like a Hades or something, and then they can go ahead and lure, but then they lose the game.
Yeah.
It's really rough. And also like if they draw too many cards, Clarabelle will just draw you as many cards, and you can find Heads Held High Under the Sea. And then you can try and then you've got more bodies on boards, then you can keep threatening bodies, and they have no board wipe. So like if you keep making your board wider and wider and wider, and they just keep removing them one thing at a time.
It's also ramping you.
Yeah, it also ramps you towards being able to play more cards. And if you can play cards faster than they can play cards and get rid of cards, then you can just keep drawing off your Clarabelle until eventually they either decide I'm going to empty my hand because I'm fed up with this now by like Tipo and ramp, or by just playing as many characters as they can and like not playing like genies and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they have no cards in hand, so you can outvalue them. Or they try and just go for I think the thing that was harder to deal with Emerald Sapphire all the times where it felt bad was Dumbo staying alive.
Yeah.
Dumbo's the only thing in that matchup that really feels like it's a massive problem.
Yeah.
Like you don't even mind if they like play an Elsa, exert a Basil, support Basil onto Elsa and trade with your Basil.
Yeah.
That doesn't even feel bad, which it should. You're like losing a 7-drop for a 5-drop, but you're still winning. You're still slowly winning on tempo. But yeah, the bit that really felt bad is if they managed to get a Dumbo on board and it stayed alive and you couldn't remove it or bounce it, then that card becomes a massive problem. That's basically their big out for the matchup, is to like go tempo early game. I'm ahead on lore. I've quested a bit. Like I'm going to threaten quests, and then I've got a Dumbo, so I'm going to keep. I'm going to just try and
out tempo you, and
if you bend me, I'm going to draw 3 cards anyway off the Dumbo and the other evasives. And if you like try and like win, if you try and win by just flooding the board, I'm going to win a lore race.
Sure.
Like,
and
John Silver doesn't do anything either. Giving reckless to a character.
Yeah, exactly. Dumbo doesn't care.
Dumbo affect it. Yeah. The worst game I think I played against Blurple, where I just got absolutely smashed into the floor, was my game 1 of round 6, where my opponent went Basil, Tipo Ramp, Genie, Elsa exert your character, Genie Sing into the Unknown on Pepper Gentleman.
Yeah.
Next turn, quest with everything. Play a Finders Keepers.
Sure. Just like refill,
And then Hades. And then just kept playing Hades like Elsa, just slamming the board with like tempo. Like so even if you do 1-for-1 removal them, like over time you're still gonna lose because you're just so far behind.
Yeah.
So that worked out very well for I think on the play that's probably just like the worst way that matchup can go.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other directions that when people played against me with Blurple didn't really feel like they were getting anywhere. The only time where other ways of playing it would work was when they went low on cards but had removal in their hands, and they character removal, and they could just remove my guys with more removal than I had.
Yeah.
Like if I drew like badly and had like Under the Sea and like 1 Basil and no Hades and like 2 Clarabelles or something, and then my 7-drops aren't that great, so also you empty hand, so I can't draw more cards, and then you go Hades, Elsa, Hades, like, and you're just removing.
You could even elephant them back too.
Yeah, there's not really much in the way of comeback for that. Yeah, it's a very weird matchup because they have a lot of cards that are just not that great in the matchup that they can see. But if they do see a bunch of good cards, they can just play a curve that just wins the game. But that's why Blurple's good anyway.
Yes,
because they have like a line. They have a line where they're just like power play into power play into power play all the way down. And it's like even Basil the 1-drop is a power play in that deck.
It's insane.
It works with so many of their other cards.
Yeah.
If they ever get an Amethyst or like a decent Sapphire shift target for that Basil.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's gonna be pretty naff.
Yeah, the because that was you for your round 7 and 8. You ID'd, right?
8 and 9 I ID'd.
Yeah. 8 and 9.
I won 6 and 7. Then so I was 6 wins and a draw, and then I just ID'd my last 2 rounds. I could have played for position, but it's a long day.
Yeah, you're already, and also you're playing often control mirrors. Like, it's going to be grindy, and you're going to time so often. Like, it's a lot.
Hilariously, the guy I lost to in top 16 was the guy I ID'd with last on the.
Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been funny to have played that out. If I played him earlier and then either lost or beat him, I would have ended up in a different position and not had to play against Amethyst.
It could completely change the line, right? Yeah,
and I probably should have played it anyway, since like me not playing it meant that I ended the Swiss in 10th, and if I had won, I would have been 3rd, and if I had lost, I would have been 20 something. So I would have I would have been on the draw around in top 32, but I was going to be on the draw every other round after that anyway.
Yeah.
So, whereas if I won, I would have been on the play every single round, since since first and second both got knocked out. First got knocked out in top 32, and second got knocked out in top 16.
Sure. Yeah.
But I just couldn't be bothered, and I wanted to go home immediately. And if I ID'd, I could just immediately leave and go and sleep.
Which is valid, especially going into a second day of a tournament. I guess we'll talk about the top 32 experience, because this is something that we have no experience in. But yeah, what was it like on day 2 in general? Because neither of us were there. That kind of like build into the top 32.
It was the same as like day 1. It's just the way you played it was differently. You got 5 minutes at the start of the round to look at each other's deck list, because it was open deck list, which is a good change, because we used to have the problem of scouts in Magic the Gathering, where people would go around and take notes on everybody's deck, and then if you got paired up against them, you'd have your scout come along and give you all the info on their deck. It was very scummy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's open deck list. I think they should probably do something about people making notes in tournaments, and like people making notes on what people are playing like in tournaments, but there's no official rule for it. It's very hard to police, so I don't really know exactly the whole thing of like having scouts go around and like take notes, like, because it'd be people as spectators as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And while you can make an event, put a spectator in the event, and then give them a penalty for doing so, it's still super hard to police anything like that, especially since the rules don't actually, like, the rules don't stop you from doing it currently.
Yeah.
Like, it says, like, when you're in a match, and there's match starting procedures, so anything before the match starting procedures isn't a match.
Yeah.
So you could refer to notes all you like as you're walking to a table, since the match hasn't started. So it's a bit, but yeah, open deck list was interesting. Being able to like review someone's entire deck beforehand.
Did you find it helped you or hindered you more?
Helped more than it hindered. Made the match against Blurple way better than it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because I knew they were on Blurple immediately. Yeah. Whereas Emerald Sapphire, I don't think you have much of an element of surprise with Emerald Sapphire, given how late it wants to go. But it can help with like mulligan decisions. Makes your opponent's mulligan decisions better against you. I think it helped Amber steal, because if you're on the play and you know your opponent's deck list and you can make mulligan decisions based on you're playing an aggro deck, that seems like quite a nice advantage to have, being able to be like, my opponent's on a control deck, I'm playing aggro, like I know exactly what their list is, what they could play. Yeah, like I can mulligan for an aggressive hand with like removal, and then try and win off that. Yeah. I mean, I'll get to top 16 game. But yeah, my game in round 10 was top 32 was against Blurple. It was a very generic Blurple list as well. It wasn't anything fancy.
Just like TikTok, even like that kind of like basic like.
They weren't playing TikTok.
Okay, sure.
But everything else was very basic. 2 Monstro. They were playing more Elses instead. I think they're playing 3 Elses. No TikToks. 4 Hades is like
it's just like the standard
Genie,
lines,
Elsa, all the way down. 2 second star to the rights. Very, very, very generic. The game 1, I absolutely should have lost that game. I had no ramp for the entire game. I thought that because I had no ramp, I was going to lose because I ended up getting so far behind, like super early on because of it. And then we got to the 7 ink. I finally got to my 7 ink turn, and I got to my 5 ink turn, and from like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of cards in hand, and I was like, I'm going to shift to Clarabelle, and he's gonna and if I exert, it's like kill like a Basil 1-drop.
Yeah.
He's probably going to Into the Unknown or Hades it because he wants to play Hades next turn.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to do that. Kill Basil, and then if he Hades it or Into the Unknown it pots me to 7.
Yeah. Your ramp is back. You're fine.
And I'm fine then. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm fine now. And I was like, Hades or Hades.
Yeah.
And he's like, Hades or Hades, Hades or Hades. And then it's like
Yeah.
Basil, Hades kill.
Honestly, let me do a little.
Might be me tapping the table.
It's fine.
I won't use the arm next time.
Yeah,
we will remember the tripod.
That's fine.
But then Hades hit something. Basil my own Hades back to my hand. Hades and just keep doing that basically for the rest of the game, and somehow managed to just grind out a win. And then game 2, I got tempoed to death very quickly. I drew all my own Inkables.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that'd be the only time that I was like, oh, maybe that'll be the only time we do that now today.
Yeah.
Because I just do like all on Inkables. I was playing 11 on Inkables. I had 2 games where I just had where I had like all in Inkables and no way of like bobbing them away.
Yeah, I relate to that way too much. I think that's that experience. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had that happen quite a bit. Like I was running 16.
I try and lower my own Inkable count as much as possible.
I at the moment I play 12 maximum and I still get hit by it.
Like I'm running 16, but
you're also only inking to 4.
I'm also only inking to 4. But getting 5 in your opening hand after Mulligan is like, I guess that Aurora's going away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, it's as an experience it's weirdly like I feel like everybody that's played this game specifically, I feel like drawing uninkable, like drawing 3 Hades in a row feels like a very like universal experience.
Yeah, if you have played the deck with Hades in, yeah.
Yeah, but you said because game 2 was Blurple doing Blurple things.
Yeah, you just curved in Dumbo. You just curved Genie, Elsa support, kill. I can't remember what it was. Kill one of your characters. It was just he was on the play. He had ramp and I had ramp, so he turn 4 Elsa, kill your Clarabelle before I could shift Clarabelle.
Yeah,
because that is one of the things that like massively makes or breaks the matchup.
Yeah.
To be honest. And then just kept tempoing away, and I didn't have good play on like turn 5 because I only had a Donald in play.
Sure, yeah.
And then turn 6 was like John Silver that gets Hades. Turn 7, like I can Hades, but at that point, like
you even get Hades back.
Yeah, there's already like 3. There's already 3 bodies on board questing for 4 plus Hades. There's already like 7 lore on board for my opponent, and it's things are going downhill already. Yeah. So I need something to survive. Really, it's just John Silver to give Genie Reckless and hope that he can't remove the John Silver immediately, so that I can sing like Heads Held High and then part of Castle Under the Sea or something later on. Might be a way of getting back into it, which I have done before against Blurple to like stop myself from getting knocked out of the game.
Yeah,
but no. And then game 3, I was on the play and I did turn 4 shift Clarabelle, sing Under the Sea, getting rid of a Genie Tipo and turn 5 shift Clarabelle, turn 4, turn 5 sing Under the Sea. Player John Silver. Hard player Baymax. Turn 6 Hades a Hades. Turn 7 bend to my will. My opponent win the game.
Yeah,
like that was just that was a game that just got won by bend to my will.
Yeah.
To be fair, the first game basically got won by bend to my will as well. I went behind very early on in that game because of the lack of ramp, and there was a turn where I could either play bend to my will or a Hades, and I bent my will to him, and like
It just-
then
yeah.
started playing my removal characters, and it just like broke the game.
Yeah.
Um,
The difference, I guess, because there's been this eternal debate seemingly between a lot of the green blue players I've seen. 0 bent my will, 1 bent my will, or 2 bent my will. Like, did you find 1 was fine?
one was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
4 visions, 1 bend my will. You can dig bend my will with visions. There are matchups where you want to see bend, but if you're going to lose unless you see bend, something's already going very badly wrong.
Yeah.
Bend my will is like just a way of closing out a game once you've got to like parity or like you're ahead.
Yeah.
Which might mean it's a win more, but with the way Blurple is,
And with
its
the
comeback
format is
potential,
so incredibly, like the comeback potential on both decks is insane.
like Amethyst Steel, like only needs a few cards to be able to gain a fair bit of lore.
Yeah.
Depending on the version they're playing as well. But like if they like end the turn, it's very very weird. I've seen like I had the Amethyst Steel player like end their turn after playing a dock for the last thing of their turn. I think an Amethyst Steel player did it as well, and I was like, it's probably the best time I'm going to have to end my will. And then bend my will winning the game. I've played bend my will when my opponents had no cards in hand to get it out of my hand.
Yeah.
So that I could draw cards of Clarabelle before as well, or potentially draw cards of Clarabelle when I use a Basil like on the following turn.
It's not a bad like just because it's a brick, right? It just sits there.
It is a brick sometimes, and you really do not want to see it, or you really want to avoid it if possible when it's a brick. So you really do not want to play 2 because you don't want to see it. More often than just.
That's how I'm feeling with second star to the right, for example. Like I find the second one is usually too much.
The second one's overkill. Second star to the right, it's just the second star to the right is a little bit easier to play.
It's a sync together, right?
Yeah. It's a bit like whether or not you should play 3 Under the Sea or 4.
Yeah.
But then you play. I play 4 because Bobby lets you discard them if you overdraw them, which is like the main reason why you can play 4.
Yeah.
And shooting from Tipo, but that's the same. Regardless of which version you're playing Tipo. Yeah. That was there was some very good matches. We also went to time there as well, but I went on turn 3 of time, so
sure.
That was fine. We got 70 minutes as well, so
it's
a little bit sloggy. But he wasn't actually going to be able to catch up because it's whoever has highest lore.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to ask that then.
Yeah.
He was on 5. The highest he got to was 5, and I was on that. I got to 6 lore on like turn 6.
Yeah.
So I was just ahead of lore. I was ahead of lore the entire game.
Blurple has to make a conscious decision to start questing, I find.
Yeah, the thing I noticed though is that there's a few of the Blurple players I played against didn't quest when they should have done. Yeah. They're like, oh, but maybe.
Like the 1 or 2 lore would have been relevant.
Yeah, maybe somehow I'll shift Baymax and kill their thing or something was the thought, but like, and then I look at some of the score totals for like some of the games I played against Blurple, and I find a Blurple there.
It's the issue that I have where I think I play too conservatively, and I'm always valuing what I have on board too much at times. I think because they're constantly aware also of like I need to second star, so I cannot afford to lose singing power on the board, regardless of if it's a Tipo or if it's a
even if you which is weird when you're playing in a matchup where you're probably not going to play second star anyway, or you may not play second star anyway. Like I've got like my opponent in round 6 got to 18 lore before he lost the game, and then game he got to 17 lore before he lost the game. Like early quest, if like he may have quested early in those games, I can't remember.
Yeah,
but if he didn't, that's literally the difference between winning and losing. So I feel like aggressive questing is
something that I was when I started sliding and I started getting into my own head. I stopped being able to judge the right move to the right turn to actually go full quest, and I think I lost a couple of games not because of the deck, but because I started questioning. Okay. Do I just quest now, and then I wait a turn, and then I get to 18 ink, and it was like if I quested that turn earlier with the
you would have won the game. Yeah.
The Dark and the Calhoun, even if they killed them, they would have had like especially with Calhoun, they probably would have traded something into it.
Yeah,
and it was like I should have probably quested there, and like I started getting into my own head with it.
Yeah, it's that. It's that thing that you cannot play to all of your outs, no matter what.
No.
Like, it's impossible to be able to go, okay, I need to remove your things, but also I need to quest. It's that thing of, sometimes you just have to make a conscious decision to be like, well, if I get outed here, I get outed here.
And then the next game after that, I went the other way.
Yeah, and then you get punished for it.
And then I
yeah.
got punished.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how I started then going, like...
Yeah, you gotta decide, like what punishes are like really bad and what ones are only like 1 or 2 laws difference.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like the ones that are really bad you want to avoid, but
Yeah.
the ones that aren't are only like they might, like, for example, like questing when they've got like the when they've got a character who could kill Tiana if they paid the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you quest into it. Like, you don't, like, some people just don't quest into that. It's like, no, you just do. That's what Tiana's there for. She gains
Yeah.
2 law, and they have to pay 3 ink in a turn.
They take a turn off.
Yeah,
basically.
just to kill your Tiana.
That's kind of what I would end up doing. Is like, if they've got to pay the 3 ink, fine.
Yeah.
They've got to pay 3 ink.
Yeah.
It was more if I'd missed my Tiana, or if they'd into the unknown it, or something along those lines, or somehow outdid my Tiana, and then it'd be like, oh, hang on, do I go into control mode, or do I just not quest? And then usually that would be when I would mess up.
Yeah.
Also, didn't practice enough.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah. I truthfully, I should have practiced my bad matchups more.
Still there.
Yeah, I've been so paranoid that I've been checking everyone. So the reflection has helped a lot. We'll mention your top 16 game, and then we'll go into the future of the deck, I guess.
The most smashed I got in a game, that entire thing was my top 16.
Yeah.
Game 1, I could have possibly stayed. He just raced me.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
playing a version of Amber Steel that wasn't playing Rhino.
Yeah,
I think it's the correct decision.
I think it was the correct decision on the day as well.
He had 2 bolts in there, but I don't think they were good. But they were cool and gimmicky. He's playing Sven's as his 4. Sven and Pluto as his 4 drops. And he's only playing 2 Svens.
Sven is fantastic.
Sven is a very good card when it's relevant. Oh yeah, Sven is really good. I'm surprised that no one's played I'm guessing the 5-drop Darling Dearest.
Yes, the one that adds 2.
Yeah, that one hasn't seen any play, and neither has the chip that gives +1. The 3
yes, yeah. The chip I've always found interesting that it hasn't seen play.
Yeah, I don't know if I haven't tested enough with them, so I'm guessing they're just not impactful enough.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes it feels like they would probably be pretty good. For especially for the Emerald Sapphire matchup, where 3 power matters.
It's a 3/3. It's a 3-drop 3/3 eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I gained 1 lore and got absolutely trashed game 1. There was a point where I might have been able to undersea and stabilize, and he drew the top card of his deck and went and called Pete.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's absolutely game over.
Yeah.
I had undersea, and I was inky to 8, and I would have been able to under the sea, and then just died.
Yeah.
Game 2, my opponent mulled 7. Yeah, they mulled 7, and I was on the play because he was on the play game 1, and drew the most disgusting 7 I think I've ever played against in my life. Yeah. It was double strength of a Raging Fire, Fire the Cannons, Aurora, Tiana, Nala. I think the last card was a Dock, maybe.
Yeah.
It was insane. Especially against Emerald Sapphire. He had the Fire the Cannons for the Clarabelle. He had strength of a Raging Fire to kill it bleakly, and then he had another strength of a Raging Fire then to kill a John Silver.
Yeah.
So everything I played died horribly.
Yeah.
He just quested lethal before I could even make a comeback. Which is why I think that deck is really good against Emerald Sapphire on the play.
Yeah.
You have the removal, you're so badly fit. Your matchup's so bad.
And effectively by removing the rhinos, you also you have space in the deck to play your aggressive cards while also playing your removal tools.
Yeah, I will say playing the Rhino's great card, really powerful. But
I find the 1-drops more impactful than the shift too.
Yes, but also if you're doing the Rhino line, 1 Rhino, 2 Rhino, you're not up in your body count.
Yeah.
So then, even if you got then on turn 3, if you've got swords, or even turn 2, you shift the Rhino, you can't strength because you've only got 1, unless you strength the Basil.
Yeah.
Or something like that, which could be relevant.
And the other thing I will mention is that if you exert that Rhino turn 2, chances are you're losing the game immediately. because so much of the format is favored into, oh, this card's exerted now, I'm going to kill it. Like, even if my turn 3 is just hard cut into the unknown on you, like, I'm just going to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you've got like dock into like more stuff, and you can just flood a board in response.
Like, what I found my nuts hand would be 1 Aurora, 2 Tiana, 3 3 would be Lady into a dock, hope to hit the strength off the dock,
And then sing it.
and then sing it. That was, and then that would be a stable board. They would have to spend lots of ink to get rid of Tiana or like ramp me.
Yeah.
Which means that anything going forward, and like you hit a penny then and things like that, and it just starts snowballing over.
The fact that they're Amethyst and aggro, I guess play removal is why it's like actually a good aggro deck.
It's why it's better than the dog deck, I think. The dog deck tends to do better if it is playing Under the Sea as well. That's another. It can be bricky, but it's sort of needed sometimes with the 7-drop tramp and stuff.
Yeah, but then it's just like sometimes it feels like, what's the point of playing that deck with like Under the Sea? If you're playing, like, you want to play an Under the Sea deck,
you just play the other
better deck that exists. Yeah.
The in terms of, I mean, I think the run you had was incredible in terms of I think it's a really good point to mention. I think Emerald Sapphire is probably in the best spot it's ever been, right?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that I think it proves that, when you're playing a deck that's tiered, you do better. Like, I think in your experience,
I do frequently play like off meta decks and stuff. I don't tend to play,
which is also valid because I literally went into the room with Emerald Amethyst. But I want to talk about cards that other people played in their lists that you didn't play, and like what you think about them. What do you think about like what the counts of them were? Like, is it worth playing them, etc., etc. There was a lot of them to cover. I think I'll go through like the ones that I think are actually more interesting. I think one of the big ones I saw on the weekend was Mother Knows Best and Stopped Chaos.
So Stop Chaos is kind of nice because it can bounce. You can use the bounce your own Hades and it's inkable, and it's really, really good into Blurple when you want a tempo start.
Yeah. Because
if you sing Stop Chaos in its tracks, you can bounce Dumbo plus any like Genie or any of the lower power dudes.
Yeah. Well, anyone but Elsa, right?
Dumbo is awkward because it has 3 power.
Yeah.
And it doesn't line up nicely into Under the Sea. The problem with the sort of bounce cards is that there are so many cards now that when you play them do something really impactful, and the meta slowly gravitated towards those cards as well.
Yes, yeah.
It started off like the first version of Emerald Sapphire that I tried to play, which worked at the start, was just all bounce, Mother Knows Best, the 2-drop Mother Gothel that you can pay an extra 3 to bounce,
and the shift
6-drop shift, or Basil, everything was just I bounce anything you play, and I'm just going to keep doing that and keep making bodies while doing it, and I'm going to quest for lethal eventually.
Yeah,
and I played full Stop Chaos in that day, and then no Under the Seas, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah,
until we get to the point where like
these bodies are really
and the battlefield effects become the big thing because that's what normally happens anyway. And the battlefield effects normally tends to be very good unless the bounce effect
Basil itself is a great example of one of those. It's a card that bounces something, but by bouncing it back, you're going, oh, well, I'm losing a character on board. Hades being bounced, it's like, oh, well, I'm losing a character for this. Like, it's so the amount of times that's actually been. I think Mother Knows Best. Obviously, I imagine Mother Knows Best would be good into Dumbo, but like, do you think it's a card worth playing?
It's just the fact it's an inkable as well.
Yeah.
If it was an inkable card, it would be.
It's like wrong lever, right?
It would be like 4 off, and you'd be happy to play it, and you'd have no problems at all with using it because it's got so much utility as well. Being able to bounce your own stuff does, but with it being uninkable, it's in some matchups it's a completely dead card to have in your hand. If you mulligan into it, it sucks because you can't get it out. You go 1, 2, 4 most games.
Yes, you skip
so
over
you
that.
skip the 3, so there's no good sweet spot, and you have the option to instead play your Welcome, which is a 4 and also is inkable.
Yeah.
So and also you want your opponent to have more cards in hand, and your Welcome gives them 1 extra card above what Mother Knows Best does. So you have a better option. The better option also can target anything.
Yes, yeah, at locations which, if they are relevant, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely anything. It was fine. Yeah, it was fine at the start, and now it's just kind of been it's just fallen out of the meta and been a bit useless.
The I think the most hotly debated spot of the entire deck is the 4-drop, right? I know you were playing Scrooge and decided to cut it ultimately.
Played Scrooge Kita as well.
Yeah.
The 4-drop inkable 3/3.
Which is sort of seeing a little bit of a resurgence again.
I really like Kita. My biggest problem with her is her stat line.
Yeah.
The fact she's got ward is really good.
Yeah.
The problem is that when you need to play a character and have it be impactful like immediately, she's not. She's always delayed by a turn. She'll actually look at 2 cards at the top of your deck, and if you can remove your opponent's board and have a Kita on board, she'll just make your top decks constantly better and also ramp you at the same time forever, and that's insane.
Yeah.
The fact that you can be like activate Kita effect, look at 2 cards, put 1 in your ink, put the other one back on top, sail, draw the card that you put on top, play it, is really good. But her just being a 3/3 is really rough.
Yeah,
it's such a bad stat line.
Everything
to challenge it. Well, she can't challenge and kill anything.
When you were playing it, I used to just kill it with Hook.
Yeah, Hook is
you'd activate the effect and it'd die.
Calhoun.
It almost always is activate Kita effect.
Yeah. You get one trigger, right?
You get ramp once, then you die.
Yeah.
And then it dies. And then you can sandbag it if you want to be able to sing Under the Sea.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's another turn where you're doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could sandbag a Scrooge anyway, right? Like, if you want to play...
Yeah, Scrooge is good, but Scrooge is uninkable.
Yeah.
And that's the main problem with him. And, and the problem is those two versus Perfect Gentleman and Baymax is really rough, because Perfect Gentleman is so good.
Yeah. I was really impressed by the performance of it.
When at the start of the format, I thought I really didn't think it was that great.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, no, Kita seems better. And then now like Perfect Gentleman seems great, mainly just because it draws your extra card immediately, straight afterwards at the start of the next turn.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about I think it's still on the shelf.
Surprisingly,
because it draws your card immediately.
Yeah,
it gives you more ink, and you really, really badly want ink, and it makes your opponent draw a card, which means that they have more cards for when you Clarabelle. But yeah, it's just the quest for 2/5 stat line's good. It's inkable, which is good. And really good because you want to lower your uninkable count as much as possible, and the draw card is immediate. It's not like a delay, like a turn's delay.
Yeah,
it's like the start of the next turn. So if you're trying to find the rest of your curve, you can draw. You have more of a chance of drawing into the rest of your curve by playing Donald and playing on curve than you would, because you could play off curve and play Visions of the Future and a T4 or a Sail or something.
Yeah, and double ramp. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get a relatively okay body that also can quest, so you can actually threaten lore as well.
Yeah,
you can make people want to challenge your character as well. People look at Donald and want to challenge it because it's going to draw cards. And
it's that weird back and forth where it's suddenly in certain matchups you want the draw so badly that you actually let them keep the 2/5, and then they have Singer Power as well, and it's there's a lot of psychological strength of it too.
We've always said that about people wouldn't respect the Tipo after it's done its thing.
Yeah,
and then the next thing you know, it was singing.
It's singing with Pirate's Life, or it's becoming a Baymax. So
the
one of the cards that did see play in higher and the other top 16 Emerald Sapphire was playing Focus Flatfoot, the 5-drop.
The 5-drop. So yeah, I used to play the 5-drop as well. And it is good because your 5-drop kind of is a bit your 5-drop stop is iffy. It's probably the weakest point of your deck.
Yeah.
It's just the option of you can either play a 5-drop and hope to go on 5 and go directly up to 7 next turn, which is valid. Or you can play a few more 2s and a few and some 3s, for example, Pleakley.
Yeah.
And try and make your 5-drop turn a 2 and a 3.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's just which way round you want to do it. Sometimes. Sometimes your 5-drop slot is just a 4-drop, a second 4-drop slot, and it's you're hard playing your Welcome, or you're shifting Baymax, or you're shifting Clarabelle. It's a bit of a weird one, really. I like playing Focus Flatfoot. I just struggle to find the slot like what I should take out of the deck for him. There's
Yeah.
an argument that you should take out Pleakley. I should take out
because they're
my
both
Pleakleys
ramp
and
tools,
put-
right?
Yeah, it's design I should play like three Donald and three Focus Flatfoot and
Yeah.
3 Perfect Gentlemen.
Sure.
Go 3/3 and then not play Pleakley at all.
Yeah. But you said Pleakley really did help a lot too.
Yeah, for the Blurple matchup, it saves you.
Yeah.
I was used to Blurple playing Focus Flatfoot already.
Yeah.
Like the times I played against Blurple locally, they've
Yeah.
been playing Focus Flatfoot as well. So I thought that I was cutting it. I was making sure that I wouldn't top deck draw into a Focus Flatfoot when it was relevant.
Yeah.
Instead, I was more likely to draw something that was relevant by playing more Visions and more Vision Sail, and Pleakley. And Pleakley was just a salvage when you didn't open ramp initially.
Exactly. I guess that's the relevant line there is that if you're waiting for Donald and you miss ramp, you're taking 5 full turns and then you're ramping, and then if you're not shifting the Clarabelle that turn, it's stuff like that, right? Where
yeah, it's a little bit of a weird one. Donald's definitely good. It's just that if you miss your ramp, Donald isn't going to save you.
Yeah.
Whereas Pleakley actually might.
Yeah.
If you've got turn 1 Bobby trying to dig for ramp and still haven't hit it, but you have a Pleakley, you can at least Pleakley or Bobby and go to 5. And then you can play your 4-drop on 5 ink and your 6-drop next turn then.
Yeah.
And you're still on curve technically. You're just a turn behind.
Yeah.
Where you'd like to be. But you still got a 3/4 on board for Pleakley.
Yeah.
If Donald's body was better than
he's also a 3/4, right? Questing for 2 as opposed to 1, but
yeah, is relevant. It's a bit of a weird one. I did used to enjoy playing Donald. The only other thing as well is inking off the top, while shouldn't really be relevant. It can be when you're playing 1 bend, my will.
Yeah. You can hit the 1-off bend, you can hit the 2-of one of the 2-ofs.
It's not really an argument though.
Yeah.
A random card, losing 1 random card from your deck normally is just going to be 1 of your 4-ofs, most of the time. Just probably.
And if it's statistically the bend to my will, it's just unfortunate, right?
Yeah, and you can't really play for losing the card that you do.
And I guess the argument there is if bend is important enough that if you whiff it, if you ink it that one time and it loses you the game, then you should be playing more of them anyway.
Yeah. And also if you're playing Donald to go into 7 and bend is good in the matchup, you're probably keeping Donald bend. It used to make matchups mulligans easier.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the time you're mulliganing for 1-drop Clarabelle, ramp, and 5-drop and 7-drop Clarabelle.
Sure. Yeah.
You're spending a lot of your mulligans are aiming for that anyway. So there's not really much point in playing something else that's going to take up your 5-drop slot when you're not aiming for it.
Yeah.
When you could draw into Clarabelle or visions for Clarabelle earlier on. A lot of the time you want your 5 turn to be your setup turn for your future turns. You've got you've got more cards normally because you played a Donald, and you've got a bunch of decisions you can make for your future turns. And normally it's a state of the board, work out where you want your next few turns to go. Do I need to be on 7 next turn? If so, Sail or Tipo. If not, am I digging for something to win this match? To make this match better? Am I digging for Under the Sea or Heads Held High or John Silver? What's the actual rest of the plan for this? That's normally what your 5 turn is.
Yeah.
And Pleakley's nice just because it's a card you can weave in that ramps you up to 7. Even if you weren't planning on going to 7, you can just have the options that being on 7 gives you.
Yeah.
And have a 3/4 body that's an upgrade to whatever 1/2 you've quested with and shoved into your ink.
Sure. Yeah.
So
the I think probably the last part I was going to mention just for my own sake of being what did you think of the Ratigan? But I feel that's more of a full-blown you just don't need the Ratigan.
Yeah.
But everybody on that day seemed to be on 12 Clarabelle, the 4 3-drop, 1-drop, and 7-drop.
Yeah.
Do you think that the 3-drop is necessary?
This is a really weird one because I don't really think that you need to have a 3-drop in the deck.
Because you could put more ramp tools in, right?
Yeah, I don't even think you put ramp tools in. I think the problem is that the 3-drop's there for when you miss your 1-drop, it has to be a Bobby or something or something bad. Or when you want to get value off thinking from Tipo and you want to and you don't have the Donald and you want something else to play. you want to be able to draw through your cards. And also, if you're like looking for an out, like say you're looking for 7-drop Clarabelle, it's 3 to play that, to draw cards, to maybe find like the 7-drop Clarabelle to be able to draw you a bunch of cards because you're behind and you haven't seen a like big Clarabelle.
Yeah.
It's just another cantrip for the deck. I think the main problem with 3-drop Clarabelle is that there isn't that good, like any like super good replacements for it.
Yeah. The 3-drop slot is, the loss of kit is huge, right? Like that's a card that would,
like Lewis would be the card I would play.
Yeah.
But the problem is Lewis really isn't that strong at the moment.
Yeah.
Like it's good to give Reckless for stuff, and it is a good card, but it's like really not good.
It's
enough.
not his format, right? Like
it's just because he enters, like entering Exerted is really bad.
Yeah.
And like the stats and the upside are good, but they're not good enough to warrant it. And there's a lot of cards that trade favorably. Hell,
Calhoun is a really good example.
Well, for Blurple, if they go turn 1 Basil, turn 2 Tipo, and you Louis, they can just buff and kill it. And even if you target the Basils, they can't buff it. They can crash both into it, or they can knock strength and smash into it.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to deal with just a generic big body that gives something reckless. The repeatable like reckless and the on play entering an Exerted of John Silver is why John Silver is really good. It's a 6-drop, so it can sing heads held high and it contributes 6 to Under the Sea. It enters in on Exerted and immediately stops something from questing for a turn.
And it's recurable,
and if you can defend it, it is just constant. Like it will just lock a board down. If you're Under the Sea with a John Silver, and wipe their board,
it's
like
very
next time they play something, like the first thing, whatever the highest law thing they play is, or the most relevant thing that they want to be able to like quest with, or not turn sideways that they play the next turn is getting reckless. Like you're already so far ahead. Any quest for 2, but like that's the main thing. Is just like him being able to be like, now you have to challenge. Even if it means it's going to trade with John Silver, like everything.
It's already
dies
gone
to John
more
Silver
than enough
nearly.
value at that point, right?
Iago is like the only thing that doesn't just die to John Silver. Iago and Monstro, like and Hades and Elsa, but they like Hades and Elsa are different anyway. So I'm saying for Monstro. So really, it's like Elsa that's not Elsa. Iago is the only thing that really doesn't die to John Silver. So anything else that they play, you're giving it reckless and making it smash into your characters.
I think
I felt that pain.
Yeah, we
2 of them down.
Once the 2 of them are down, you can't do anything, right?
No.
It's just the end of the game. I think it's been incredibly insightful. I think anybody that is looking to pick this deck up for set champs also can listen to this and have a lot of support for it. The other thing I will say, this video should, for emphasis on should, go up the day before DLC Bologna. DLC Bologna is, as we're recording this, 2 days away. I guess we'll go through all of us. I'll start with Ricky because I feel like you've had the least chance to talk today.
It's fine.
What would be?
Makes a change.
I guess so. You're normally the host, right? It feels as you've taken a step back on that one. What do you have a prediction of what you think is going to win Bologna, or what you think should be doing well, or what something you would change in your deck, that kind of stuff?
Okay, so I think it's likely to be Blurple. I just think there's going to be so much of it.
It's a very high representation, isn't it?
Yeah, that it will inevitably, even though I don't think, like you said, it's very circular at the moment. But if all of the other decks eat each other just like they did in Cardiff, it's likely to be Blurple. My deck, well, we built it on stream. Not on stream, on a video, podcast.
That I think Tom's working on. It might come out at some point soon.
Yeah, so like we built it, and there's some things. If I'd managed to do some testing with it, rather than just one local tournament where I hit aggro, Michael with a list that just
my beloved Ruby Amethyst list that he stole from me.
Harry already knew I didn't like that list because I sat where Matt is now for one afternoon, and Harry systematically destroyed me over and over. No matter what deck he gave me, it was like, see how this one plays against it, and it was just like,
move the damage. Gothel, play the Mulan to move the damage.
Okay, I won't tap anything. play it, Elsa, tap that thing, move the damage. It's like, oh my god, I hate you.
Deliberately throw the Diablos in just to move damage from stuff. Yeah. I'd love to see that deck do well. I would love to see someone on stream go, Gothel move, and like do everything.
Yeah, that tilted me a bit. I think the mini's too slow. She needs to do something on entry. She basically taps it to.
Oh, she's the one with support, isn't she?
Yeah.
Then when
She can banish something with 5 strength or more. It's like a spiritual successor to the other one.
She doesn't have support herself.
That's the real. She gives Mickey support.
Gives Mickey
support. She gives Mickey support.
If she herself had support, I'd be all
yeah. So like, you could put her in the bag and go, right, I'll give that not Hades.
Oh, that's why they didn't give her support, because you could target your opponent's stuff and banish it. Lol.
So but like, she's too slow.
She does something on entry.
What she was doing was ink, or this 4-drop could become a 2-drop.
Yeah. Like we were talking about like how I think on the day you would have been better off playing more Jasmine, more Namari.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Amber Steel with a little bit more like that's actually work. With a little bit more like a mid-range game is better, or do you think Amber Steel just goes?
I think having tried to build it with a bit more mid-range and answers, when it works, it works.
Yeah.
It did mean that I could I won quite a few on the draw.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't win a dice roll.
Yeah.
And it meant that I could play, especially early on, I could play game 1 on the draw a bit more mid-rangey that they wouldn't be expecting, and then game 2 just go Aurora, Tiana, and just Lady into Calhoun or Lady into Doc, and go. It run out of steam too quick, and if I didn't hit a Doc, I struggled. The Queen was very good. The 3/3 Queen. No, she's a 2/4.
2/4, yeah.
I think 3/3 would be a better stat for her because she just loses too much too quickly. But being able to recur Docs was really good with her.
You don't have to exert her for that either, do you?
No, you just pitch it at the start of the turn.
Yeah.
And then the 5-drop Jasmine, which was put in as a last minute 2
so good.
Oh, it was so good.
I love that Jasmine is so good. His stat line's really good.
Yeah,
like the extra effect is really good as well.
Yeah, being able to pitch a card and make it a 6/7.
Yeah, 6/7. Yeah, it's a 3/7 start base, isn't it?
Yeah. So
and
like
it's you can do it more than once, right? You don't have to do the challenge one time.
Like I said, I think even though I really like it and it was really good, it's a really good strong card. The Rhino line at the moment, I think, is not good enough because you have to commit 2 turns into it, and once you've committed those 2 turns, if they remove it, you have basically lost your game.
I will also say the format's starting to, a lot of popular decks starting to play Bee King Undisputed and Ruby Amethyst. You get absolutely railed by that card.
And
it's definitely not right to shift on turn 2.
Yeah.
Like if I'm playing Rhino as a 1-drop on turn 1, it's just definitely not right to shift on turn 2. I don't think. Like even if it's just like playing playing a Nala or something. I mean, if you can bait someone into swinging into one of your other characters, or force someone to swing into one of your other characters,
and then shift
one that Rhino trades favorably with, you can shift Rhino, kill their character.
Honestly, I would have preferred having a Captain Hook, because if a 1-drop dies the way that Rhino was dying, it's a 1-drop.
Yeah.
And I haven't invested 8 cards in my deck into it.
Sure, yeah. I guess
it's still a good card.
Yeah.
And when people can't deal with it, it's an issue.
Yeah, they can't take any of their cards sideways.
Yeah.
But I was finding that there was so many answers out there for it.
I will say I'm going to give a little bit of a shout out to Emerald Steel. I think Emerald Steel is in a really, really interesting place. I think Blurple can be a real issue, but then it's the format, Like if you're playing a Steel mid-rangey deck, chances are you're probably going to have to deal with a bad matchup into Blurple. It is, I would say, far and beyond the most consistent aggro win rate I've had. I think just having a Steel deck that also has access to Clarabelle has just been something that has really, really surprised me. The LD list that came out, I tested it a lot. I've been playing a lot this week just to kind of get a good understanding of what's going on in the format outside of Cardiff, to see if anything's changed, to see if it's evolved in any way. I would like to see Emerald Seal do great. I think Blurple will still do Blurple things. I think Emerald Sapphire will still do really well. I think I would be very surprised if not every Blurple list, most of them aren't playing They Never Come Back. I think the card is incredibly strong. I think it's a card that they should be on. I think your aggro matchup is rough, and I think you need more tools for it. But yeah, I don't know, Matt, what you think is the best deck in the room right now, or what do you think is the best, most favored from where we are right now?
I think if you're I think a lot of like good pilots will be on Blurple, just because Blurple has like the tools to beat almost anything.
Yeah.
I think Amethyst Steel will win
Sure.
Bologna, though. I get the funny feeling that with so many Blurples around, there's a lot of people who are going to be playing Amber Steel. I think a lot of people are going to play Emerald Sapphire to beat Amber Steel, and then like the people who
play into the Amethyst Steel matchup.
People who do really well are going to end up on Amethyst Steel, and Amethyst Steel in matchup into Blurple isn't that bad either.
Yeah, like a version with, you could even play an incredibly aggressive version with 4 Honeymare and 4 White Rose.
I feel like the like a version that wins is probably going to be very low to the ground.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not going to bother with like the Dumbo, the whole Dumbo thing. I think playing evasives that can quest well is good.
Yeah.
So like Genie is good.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to bother with the like pseudo evasive to trigger Dumbo package.
Yeah.
They might play some card. They'll probably play some of the pseudo evasives that are good
just
to
for
kill
hate. Yeah.
Dumbo, but at the same time,
Like Genie.
Yeah, maybe not even. Maybe the 2 drop
to kill. Like more like
because
more like Jasmine instead of
sure. Yeah. Yeah, the 2 drops are far smee, but like 3 drop.
I'm trying to think of what's the best one. I mean, maybe it is just Genie. To be fair, I feel like there's cards that can be played to.
I think Jasmine would do really well
if you specifically play them instead of them just instead of them just caring about them having evasive for.
Just to get card draw.
Yeah, to get card draw off Jumbo. Instead, you're playing just the evasives that matter to be able to deal with the evasives that Blurple plays.
Yeah.
Or at least to slow them down. But even then there's a question of like, why even bother? Just go under them and just try and play, and then and try and get your early quests in and just pull ahead, and then win the game with your like, I can just slam down lore.
Yeah.
Because there's not like Blurple doesn't have like super fast lore gain.
Yeah.
Like its fastest lore gain is like Elsa.
Yeah, it's Elsa and
it's like
Hades
shifting in Elsa
and
into Hades is like the fastest lore gain they're going to do, and that is good and will win matchups like 100%. But like if a bunch of them are playing like second star to the right, like a bunch of second stars to the right,
they're very greedy right
and trying
now.
and trying to just be way over the top, like greed wise. You can just win just by being like, I play all these cards, diddle my way through, and then like gaining lore as I go. I'll gain as much lore as I can as I go. Like I don't think Amethyst Steel isn't playing 1-drop Diablo currently, is it?
No, but I think it very much could.
Yeah, so it's just stuff like that where you could just
challenge a
be
Mim with it.
The 2 that beat me were running 1-drop Diablo.
I've seen some versions not, and some versions are. Some of them just like cutting them for Happy, Captain Hook, and some of them aren't. I don't know.
I don't think Happy's particularly relevant right now, personally, but
it's the pseudo evasive that he's there for.
Sure, yeah, he does trigger Dumbo, yeah.
That's all he's there for.
You could play 7 Dwarves Mine as well in it to help you with like dealing damage and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if 7 Dwarves Mine is good enough at the moment. I don't know how relevant 2
There's
damage
so many things
You're
with 3.
Nick screaming for
Yeah.
so many 3s.
I think I would give a shout out in Amethyst Steel to, I think maybe that Ursula Voice Stealer, just the 5-drop exert, because I think the exertion is going to be incredibly relevant, and I think sometimes having 4 Elsa and an additional exert tool might be good enough just to justify playing.
Yeah, that card is kind of cool.
There's just not enough songs to make it work, like to get the benefit on top of that. But it's the 3/4 at the end of the day too. I think it could do okay.
It's that exert. That's what makes. Well, I know she's also got rush evasive, but that exert
Elsa's unbelievable.
on Elsa is
I'm sure everybody on that weekend will be on. I've left the frame. I'm sure everybody on that weekend will be on four of the foily Elsas from this new gift set.
So, they're really pretty as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how I feel about a Dumbo.
Yeah.
I think it helps Blurple to like not just be run over by Emerald Sapphire, but I don't really know how much I like value that card as a whole. I feel like it's a bit overhyped at the moment, especially with the price tag.
Yes, yeah.
And it seems like a card that could quite easily just get replaced by something else.
Yeah, the moment a better card comes, it's just going to go.
Evasives don't have good stat lines, and them just being evasive is only good enough if they can also like contribute something else. And Elsa and Genie have been the only two evasives that have been able to contribute like more than just being evasive.
Yeah.
Like I would say like once Whispers drops, if we get some more removal, then Dumbo's gone.
It doesn't even have to be good removal, honestly. It could just be removal. It could be like a Twin Fire. Twin Fire has been seeing a little bit more play recently. The Fire the Cannon, discard a card to do a second Fire the Cannons on a 2-drop card. But yeah, I feel like we could probably go into little intricacies, but I think that's probably going to cover it for today. I think we've done a lot already.
Yeah.
I will frame this last second so we can get one ending shot that is correct.
So we'd like to thank Matt for coming in. Obviously, he's been part of the channel from the start. He was our champion of champions.
Yeah. The more highly coveted title.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He showed up.
We have the new. I guess maybe we'll do another Pocana event at some point. I've not really thought about that. I wonder where Pocana is now. Sapphire Steel is probably tier 0 at this point. But,
every single time a set came out, we looked at the set and went, this makes Sapphire Steel better.
Yeah. Pocana is just like, oh, they added more.
I mean, if like sets 1 through 9 are just like Pocana is just dominated by Sapphire Steel, we could just cut sets 1 through 4 out and just be like, well, now we're doing standard. We could do core format like
we could
like Pocana.
Pocana.
But the problem is
Pocana
is in sets 5 to 9 where they dropped one jump to common.
Oh yes,
one jump's common now.
One jump is common now.
One jump.
There's some really good cards.
There's no Detective Mickey though.
Oh no,
no Detective Mickey.
I mean, but Tipo and Sail are still around, so that's also a problem.
Actually, Tipo isn't. Tipo's on a common, so you just have Sail in one jump.
Yeah, you have Sail in one jump. Yeah. Only 2 ramp cards. Only 8 ramp cards. How many ramp cards do they play in Blurple again?
8. And it's well, some people are playing 2 1 jump. But yeah, I think we've had. Again, anybody that needs help at Emerald Sapphire, I think can easily refer to a lot of this stuff. Anybody is at Bologna, good luck at Bologna. If you play Emerald Sapphire and you actually watch this video, I'd be very interested. Let us know. There's a lot of people at Bologna that might have looked at your deck list and gone, oh, this is on Inkdex, top 16, green blue.
To be fair, I might have just gone. I might just have people in that deck.
Which is fine. I think as a list, it's very comfortable. I think you just make a couple count changes and you're probably good.
I think there's someone else basically on. Oh,
the Stockholm top 4 was literally 1 and 1 change.
Yeah, it was literally completely for a Donald, which I think is right as well. So
but yeah, do
you want to wrap it up, seeing as you're...
I've done more. It's weird. I'm not used to this, especially for a podcast. Check out the vlog if you want to see me slowly get more and more tired throughout the day. Baker really helped that video. Shout out to him. And also all the content creators we spoke to. This will be up hopefully before Bologna. We'll try and get these out more consistently. It's been a bit of a up and down few weeks, but set champs content coming. I'm considering doing a video about how to get out of your own head as like a beginner playing format.
How did you do that, Harry? I need to know that.
Yeah, I know. I need it as well. What do you like the format?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think we've all kind of gathered. Because Ricky, in the last video, you can speak about it briefly if you want to.
Yeah. So like, even when I was playing, I like the deck. I wasn't enjoying it. and then I wasn't enjoying most of the decks I was coming up against. To be fair, like I've played meta most of the time.
Yeah.
There's been odd occasions where, like, I'll play meta for serious things, but
You played
I'm
Grandpappy.
also the guy who turns up to a weekly tournament with Robin Hood Tribal.
Yeah.
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Cool. Bring back Steel Song.
No,
We've hit-
Absolutely not.
no, not even a
Literally.
little bit.
Oh, I guess I should probably elaborate on why I don't like the meta, I suppose. And stuff.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, we can add it at the end if you want. Yeah,
But yeah,
I feel
no.
like it's also valid to just say no, though.
I mean, yeah, I think that the problem. I guess the problems with the meta are just that like the answers are really poor and the threats are really really good. And the decks, the colors that specifically have really good threats, like are also the colors that have the better answers.
Yes, yeah.
So it's kind of just turned into one big loop of decks where it's like I ramp to my really strong threats, and then you're likely, or like there's a good chance you don't have an answer, so you lose.
Yeah.
And, or as I ramp to some really strong threats and you do have an answer, but then like you have an answer because you're ramping into your ways of answering threats instead.
Yeah.
And it's just this big like it is a cycle, and it is nice that the meta is so balanced, but so much of it is just